So I recently found myself with a little bit of time on my hands, and I decided I needed to take on another project. So I've always had this idea of, buying a bike that needed just a little bit of fixing up, buying it well, and then putting the effort into it, and then flipping it essentially. And I know that it matters a lot how and where a bike is listed, the quality of the photos, the quality of the description. So I figured, I'm pretty good at listing and selling motorcycles online. So I will go ahead and buy one that's maybe listed poorly, that needs a little bit of work. I know that's off-putting to people if it needs work. So I figured, I can do that. I can buy it. I can do the work. Then I could list it and say, it's ready to ride. I've been through it. I've ridden it. It's good to go. Because I think there's a large segment of the market that actually wants it to be turnkey with not a lot of extra effort. So that was my idea. And so I started looking and I thought, what's a good bike that people like, that there's plenty of them. It's easy to find information about them. It's easy to find parts for them. I thought, well, how about the Honda Shadow? I used to have Hondas. I worked on them quite a bit. I felt pretty good about that. So yeah, I thought, well, I'll just buy a Honda Shadow. So I found one, and it was listed. It always gets me when people do this. It's like, all it needs is a new battery. And my thoughts are, dude, if that's all it needed, why not buy the battery and then, then you would be able to say, it's ready to go. And I always feel like when I see that, it makes me a little bit suspicious, to be honest with you. It just needs a clutch adjustment. Should take you 5 minutes. I always come back to, like, if it's that simple, you would have done it yourself. You would have done it yourself, and then then you would have then you would be able to say it's ready to go. It's needs nothing. It's got to be something that you're hiding. It's got to be something more than what you're saying. So I'm very suspicious of those where they downplay the complexity of what it really needs. And realistically, you probably tried and it was too much for you. It could be that you're busy, that you really just need it out of your garage. That's a possibility too. But I just have to be suspicious when I read that. But that's what I'm signing up for. And my attitude was, I'm gonna buy it, and whatever it is, I'm confident I can fix it up. I will have to learn in the process. It'll be something that I don't know how to fix, but by the end of it, I will know how to fix it, and I will have learned in the process. I really love learning with my hands, learning by doing. To me, that's much better than just than reading a book. I don't think I'll forget those lessons when my hands and my eyes have done a thing. It's like muscle memory that gets built to do that. So that's what I signed up for, kind of fully knowing that it's got to be more than just the battery. So like I said, I found one that was listed, said it just needed a battery. I traveled to get it, hooked up the trailer, and went to get it. So I get there, I take a look at the bike. It looks pretty good. It's just like he had described, missing the battery as expected. The transaction's done. We're loading the bike onto the trailer, and he just casually mentions that, hey, he starts giving me other parts, which is not a nice thing to do, and it happens a fair amount of the time when someone's selling a motorcycle. If they have spare parts for the bike, they don't plan on getting another one of that exact model. Hey, do you want this extra seat? But then he's like, and it kind of tells a story when they do that. I could tell that he had done the upholstery on the bike, and it was a nice new, nice looking seat, for example. But I have the old one. I don't know if I'll use it for anything. If I get a custom seat made, it's good to have the original seat pan to do that. So I took it. He threw in the old headlight. It had a new LED headlight that was actually quite nice. I took that, and then he says, "Oh yeah, and here's the rectifier." And I'm like, is this old? Is this new? He's like, well, I bought a new rectifier because I thought the charging problem was the rectifier. Turns out it wasn't. And I'm like, okay. So you had charging problem. I didn't say anything. You had charging problems, did you? Filed that away. So he's relaxed a little bit by this point because, hey, he's got my money in his hand. I have the title in my hand. The bike is on my trailer. And he says, as I'm getting it all buttoned up and ready to go, he's like, well, I hope you have better luck with it than I did. And I'm like, what? What did I just do? What's the real story behind this bike? The seat replacement, that I get that doesn't concern me at all. But now it's got charging problems and the battery. You need a new battery. What, did the old rectifier fry the old battery? Is that what happened? You just kind of gave up on it, and now you're just kind of sweeping it under the rug and selling it to me. What have you gotten yourself into, man? So I took it anyway. I told myself, it's what you signed up for. You're gonna, whatever it is, you can figure it out. So that's what I did, and I took it home. Now, about 5 miles down the road, that new LED headlight that he had installed bounced out of the headlight bucket on the front. I look in the rearview mirror and I see it dangling from its wiring harness and brushing up against the fender, and I'm like, oh, so you put a new headlight in there, but you didn't really put a new headlight in there. Maybe you should have put bolts in there to hold it down or something. So fine. I pulled over to a safe spot. I just took the whole thing, unplugged it, and it's like, I'll add that to the list, and I'll deal with that when I get home. So that's what I do. Bring it home, and it's late by that point, and I just park it and go inside to get dinner. When I take a look at it the next day, I notice not only is it missing the battery, it's actually missing the primary control unit, the ECU. It's on the Honda. It sits right on top of the battery. It's actually like molded into the battery cover underneath the seat, and it's it's an expensive component. It's like this computerized control that does everything for ignition and all that stuff. So I'm like, holy crap! What's wrong with the ECU? Why don't I have it? And I'm like thinking the worst. Like, this guy sold me a bike. There's no way, the ECU is fried. He ditched it. Yes, I can get it on eBay, but yes, it's a couple $100. It's gonna eat into my profits as I, try to flip this bike, etc. And those were all thoughts. But then I'm like, I don't actually know that he stiffed me. It's shame on me for assuming that. So I just messaged him and I'm like, hey, by any chance, do you have the ECU? And he's like, oh, and he replied. He's like, oh my gosh, yes I do. I should have given that to you. It's right here on my workbench. I'll FedEx it to you. And I got it in a couple days, and it put it on the bike. And it fired right up. So, shame on me for assuming the worst when in fact he just forgot. So now I have all the parts. Now I buy a battery, and I drop the battery in there, and I fire up the bike. And it starts, and I'm like, yay, I didn't make a disaster purchase here. It's actually going to work.